All right, and we are live today. We are continuing on in the SOAR to Scale workshop, and I am Dr. Connie Scavella. I am your host, and I am thrilled to be bringing a guest to you today that you are all going to love, and I think most of you are going to completely be able to relate to her story. And so, this person that we're bringing on, who is truly iconic, a member of our Iconic Leadership Academy, is Sheree Wertz. And Sheree is a dental hygienist. She also works with myofunctional therapy and oral health care. So a lot of people say, what is myofunctional therapy? Well, let me tell you, what it is a mouthful, and no pun intended, but Sherry's going to explain what it is, why it's so important, and why this is her big mission and passion in life. And we've just been so thrilled. Now, I actually met Sheree before she ever came into the academy, and we kept in touch, lost touch, and then we got in touch again. And she has an amazing journey. You guys are going to love hearing her story. So, Sheree, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, tell people a little bit about what you do and how is it that you got into this, because you have a very unique business, and you are actually a true way shower in the fact that you are starting a whole new, almost industry, if you will. You're really being disruptive. You are taking our process to the nth degree and really leading the way. So tell everybody about what you do.
So I started out as a dental hygienist, married a dentist, and we had a daughter. So I knew what we learned in hygiene school, right? And then my daughter started having issues with bedwetting, dark circles under her eyes, not sleeping very well, waking up tired, behavioral issues. And they told me that she had ADHD and wanted to put her on medications. And I was like, I'm not a medication mom. So I had 8 miscarriages before having her. And I was told by 5 doctors that I would not have a child. And I just didn't believe that. So what I've learned through this whole journey is that there's Western medicine and Eastern medicine, and that just because a doctor tells you it's not possible doesn't mean it's not. You have to listen to your body, you have to listen to your gut, what you truly believe, and you have to be your own healthcare advocate. And I think that's what sent me down this road that I went down. So starting with a loved one that was having an issue and then finding out that it was hereditary. Not only did my daughter have the problem, I had the problem, my mom, my sister, my niece. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've worked in this part of the body my entire life. Since I was 16 years old, I started as a dental hygienist. It's all I've done. And I had no idea until I went down a rabbit hole of trying to help my daughter stop wetting the bed. And they told me she would outgrow it. And they said that was hereditary as well, because her dad wet the bed, her nephew, his side of the family all had bedwetting issues. Now I know that it has to do with mouth breathing, and that how we breathe is really important. And so my platform is taking ownership of your health, starting with oxygen, water, nutrition, enough sleep, and respecting the one body you get. When I got cancer and going through all this stuff, it was all kind of simultaneous. I realized that nobody really knows your body, cares about your body or your loved ones like you do. And a lot of doctors, they just weren't listening to the things that were going on with my daughter and myself. And it was frustrating. So I am into what I'm doing out of sheer frustration and not being able to find answers. And so that's how I went down the whole myofunctional therapy journey, which is, you're right, it's a mouthful. Nobody knows what it is. It's been out there for a really long time. George Catlin wrote a book in the 1800s called Shut Your Mouth, Save Your Life. So they've known for all those years that our nose is for breathing and our mouth is for eating, right? We don't eat through our nose. We shouldn't breathe through our mouth. But since the agricultural revolution and a lot of people having more processed foods, we're not nursing as long as we used to. We're not hunter-gatherers. We're not using our jaw the way that we used to. Our jaws are basically shrinking. And the roof of our mouth is the floor of our nasal sinus. And when we keep our tongue down, or we're missing a tongue tie where you can't move your tongue, it doesn't have the full range of motion it's supposed to, it changes growth and development for our children. And it's been 3 generations now of watching all of this change, and a lot of healthcare providers are realizing that this is an issue. So there's now airway specialists that you don't hear much about. Most people don't know this. So it was a tough journey. It was a lot of money spent, a lot of time learning all this, which is why I'm sharing it now, and how I ended up coming to you. Because I started all this, I wanted to prevent cavities. I worked for a mobile dental company. I got divorced, no longer worked with my husband, who was a dentist, and I saw all these cavities. And I'd always heard that cavities were the number one preventable childhood disease, but I didn't see it with my own eyes until I started going into schools. And I was like, why is this happening? And I thought it was because we weren't brushing or flossing enough, because that's what I learned. And then with my daughter's journey and looking at all of these children, I realized that it was mouth breathing that was the culprit of everything going on. It's drying out your tissue. It's keeping your tongue down. You're not chewing and using your jaw the same way. It's creating bedwetting issues, ADHD. So what I found is that sleep disordered breathing and ADHD have the identical symptoms. And our Western medical system wants to give you a pill right away. They don't look at all of these underlying conditions. They give you a pill. So ADHD is being diagnosed a lot more. It's being a little overdiagnosed. And then adults now that are my age and didn't know all this stuff are being put on CPAP machines, but still not addressing the mouth breathing. So that's how I went down this whole thing, is to share what I've learned through my journey.
That's amazing. Like, your journey is amazing, and you had some serious knee buckling things that happened to you. It just, got piled on. But the the fascinating thing is, like, first of all, I hear it. I know everybody else hears it. You are an absolute authority on what you do. You know your material inside and out, but you're on the cutting edge of something that's so vital that people need to be made aware of, right? Because the whole society is overdrugged, and they're taking things unknowingly, and then they need another drug for the other drug. And even though the commercials say, oh, this can cause death, people are still taking it. And just you going on a mission to both entertain and educate people about this, because if they say, oh, eat your liver, yeah, we're not going to eat the liver, but you make it, you do it in such a way that people are like, wow, I want to learn more. I want to hear more about it. And it is something that's really interesting. Like you said, the start back in the 1800s, right? Even in the last 3 decades, people still have no idea. And your thing is just really making sure that the message gets out there, in that you do it in the right way so that people aren't distorting it.
Right. And they understand the connection, because we still treat our mouth separately from the rest of our body. We have a whole different insurance system for it. It's not put together, but yet it's a window into what's going on in our body. I found my cancer because my gums were bleeding. All my tests were normal. They told me I was fine. But as a dental hygienist, I knew that my gums bleeding meant something was not right in my body. I just didn't know what. So again, it took me on this journey of being my own healthcare advocate and finding the right doctor that would listen to what was going on in my body. And it ended up being my gynecologist. And he's like, I think you need to go for a mammogram. I think you might have breast cancer. I didn't have a lump. I didn't have a bump. It doesn't run in my family. And so it just sent me down this whole journey of understanding that our healthcare system is a sick care system that treats symptoms, and they don't treat you individually. They have a protocol. And if you don't fit into their protocol, they don't know what to do with you, and they just shrug their shoulders. And a lot of people just accept that that's your new normal. And I wasn't accepting that. When you said about giving you medications that had side effects, when they give you cancer, they stage you, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And they told me that I was 1. They told me I didn't need radiation. Then they came back and told me that I did, because I qualified for this study. But I think I was going to be good for their study, because I was going to show good results, not because I really needed it. Yeah. And then the tamoxifen that you take for 5 years created all these side effects for me. I took 3 tablets and I couldn't move. I couldn't get out of bed. And they said, well, we'll try this or we'll try this. And I asked, if I take this drug, what is my percentage of the cancer not returning? And they said 80%. I said, if I don't take this drug, what is the chances of the cancer not returning? They said 70%. I said, so for 10%, you want me to take this drug, be sick, not enjoy my life, not be able to get out of bed, No, I'm not doing it. And that's where I realized all those side effects were just not good for me personally. I don't do well on medications. And then I found out that there are natural alternatives to these drugs, but you have to search and look and ask questions. And it's not just presented to you. And so that's why I created what I'm creating, to put it all in one place of everything I went through. So you can do this, right? One doctor is not for everyone. I'm not for everyone. But if I can give you everything that I've learned, you can go into my academy, kind of like you're creating, which is why I joined you, because I love what you did. I wanted you to teach me, right?
Yeah,
Go to the people that are doing what you want to do, is what they say. So
right.
that's how I ended up hooking back up with you, because you are doing what I would love to do, just in a different business or different.
Arena. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Stuff.
And that's the beautiful thing is everyone has a message, right? That they have on their heart. They want to get out there. And yours is it's new. So you're not only dealing with getting out a new message, but getting out something new for you. And yet you still are working a full-time job, not to mention having, the other issues that came up, right? That are going to be emotionally traumatic, and having any kind of health scare will definitely get to your head as well.
Yeah.
So, so what's it been like trying to, like, what were you doing before trying to get all of this out? And then what are you doing now? And where do you see it going?
Well, I was all by myself trying to figure it out. I'm a dental hygienist. So, for 35 years of my life, that's what I did. I was on a one-on-one setting, educating people. And so now I want to take what I'm doing in that setting and get it out to more people, right? But I didn't really know how to transition mindset wise. And like you said, I went through a lot, and your body keeps score. So all that trauma that happens throughout your life piles up and piles up and piles up. And when I came to you, I was on this circle in my head like a hamster in a wheel, and I couldn't get off of everything that had happened. I just kept replaying it. So that's where I entered your course in the 21-day mind mastery, right? So that got me out of the headspace that I needed to put the past behind me and move on to what I was creating for the future, because there's no room to create what's happening in your future if you're still holding on to the past. And so that's where I know you're going to talk about that more tomorrow, right? The 21-day mind mastery. But that was amazing for me, because it has different things that you can listen to, the alpha, beta, theta, that move into different parts of your mind and can reach your subconscious, because a lot of what we do we just do subconsciously. And so being able to retrain that or pull that out or pull that into your consciousness was really a game changer, like I said earlier, for me. And then meeting up with Angie, who everyone heard from earlier, she is an energy healer. So she was able to pull out the rest that I couldn't get out from the 21-day mind mastery. So the two of you together were able to just open me up to a place that I couldn't get out of by myself. And so sometimes you just need others. You can't do it by yourself. And
Yeah.
I was doing it for so long, but you have to find the right people. So the people that are on the same path and journey that you are. So sometimes it takes a while to find who the right people are. And I am there. I mean, you can see it with me. I'm totally passionate. I love what I'm doing. I love to put it out there. I just needed help in how to structure it so I wouldn't fail. I would just soar, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, having come as a person in the medical field, you're a natural educator, and this is something that we see a lot. Talk about how that affected you and transitioning to that entrepreneurial side of things.
So that's where you're helpful, is how to reword things, because I never had to deal with the money, right? I just told people what they need and here you go. And they were passed on to someone else who told people the price, and they decided what they wanted to do and made financial arrangements and all of that stuff. Well, now I'm having to do it all. So that's another mindset that I had to get past, because I did cancer and all of this stuff. And again, all that stuff, just you're drowning under all of the bills that you have. And so your mindset sometimes is, oh my goodness, I'm wondering how I'm going to pay my own bills. How am I going to ask people for money? Right. So working with you made me realize that I'm offering something that's going to help them maybe not go through everything that I went through. So they're not going to accumulate all of that debt. And then people have to see the value, but they can't see the value of what you're doing if you don't see the value in what you're doing. So you helped me through that mindset of understanding that my price is probably a lot less than what it should be because of where it's going to help them get and how much time and money it's going to save them. So again, that's another mindset thing that I needed to break through and get through because of everything that I went through in my situation: divorce, single mom, cancer. My daughter was an ice skater. That's a really expensive sport. Traveling, every other weekend. So that's when I started doing spray tans. So when we were traveling, I could pay for the room doing spray tans for the kids. So it's just all an entrepreneurial thing that you do as a single mom to make it happen for your child.
Wow. Wow. You seem like you have it all together. But when we started working, and then I said, okay, well, what's your schedule? Oh my goodness. You had so much. I didn't know where you could fit things in. And how do you see that going forward for you? And are you going to keep your job? Are you going to focus on this full time? Tell everybody what you want to do.
So now that I've been working with you, again, I see the possibilities. Like sometimes it's hard to see stuff until people can point it out to you. So we did the clarity call and the structure my business. And so I didn't want to quit my day job, right, until I had replaced that income. So I'm doing pretty good at transitioning that. So by the end of the year, I will no longer be doing dental hygiene unless I want to, like temping somewhere, because it will help get me into where I want to get into, right? So we're transitioning out of dental hygiene and doing just myofunctional therapy and oral health coaching and helping parents know this knowledge and information where there's a gap of care right now for the kids in this particular field. So if you get to the kids when they're little, you can use their growth and development. And right now, no one's really caring for that group of children. So that's where I'm passionate about because I've lived it. And so I don't want anyone else to have to find out the hard way or live it the hard way. If I can help make their lives easier, their kids' life easier, make them all sleep better. Because if your kids aren't sleeping, you're not sleeping. When you're not sleeping, you're tired, you're cranky, you can't focus, you take it out on your family. It's just a trickle-down effect and it affects everyone. And the first thing we do when we're born is breathe through our nose. We can't breathe through our mouth. The last thing we do when we die is breathe. But we don't really talk about how important that is in between and everything that happens here that creates the illness and sickness when you're not breathing like you should.
Yeah, absolutely. This is such an amazing topic. It's so underexposed. And so watching you, I know you've got a group and that we're building and creating, and you have a academy that you're creating and your own practice. So I think there's a lot of people out here who go, I think I know somebody like that. As we always say, do you know anybody like that? And it might be you, right? It might be something you want to find out about, but you have some places that you have built up now that you've been in the academy. Tell everybody a little bit about where they could go to hear more about you.
So I have a free group for moms. You don't have to be a mom. I do have a couple dads in there, but I call it Healthy Mouth Moms because it's usually the moms that are dealing with the kids, and it just sounded fun. So you can go to Healthy Mouth Moms at Facebook and find me and join that academy. I had 3 different groups and I just merged everything all into one, and I'm letting people come into that group. And then if you'd like to book a 15-minute call with me, you can go to my name, ShereeWertz.com/15. It's right there. And you can schedule a call with me and we can talk about maybe what you're seeing, what's happening, and if we're a good fit and you'd like to work, or if I can help you, or if there's somebody else that's a better fit for you, depending on what your situation is.
Absolutely. So how does it feel now that you're actually getting involved? I know you had to take some time off and take care of your health. And what's it feel like now that you're finally, are you seeing it, the momentum of all the things that you've been planning and building?
Yes, yes. And I just started with you a few months ago. And yes, I mean, the trajectory has been crazy. And there's things that have been coming up and just coming in because I think of the mind mastery and the change of mindset. When you put it out there, you manifest it, right? I think you talked a little bit about that. And so when you're not bogged down by everything in the past and you just see the possibilities, it opens your whole world up. So I remember my daughter saying, when I got the cancer, we're going through all this, she's like, Mom, you're just no fun. I didn't have anything fun. I wasn't thinking life was fun during that whole time. So it was hard for me to get out of that, just feeling like it was just one thing after another. And oh my gosh, how is this happening? And where am I going to go from here? How am I going to create this? I didn't see the vision. So now after, talking with you and having a plan and knowing the steps, it's so much easier. And it does take just a couple hours a day. And the more you do it, the easier it gets, because it's just steps. And once you know what you're doing and you're putting it out there, it's just kind of repeating the same thing. So it makes it much easier. And people are like, oh, I want that. And oh, I need to know that. And so it's a matter of knowing what you want to say. I think sometimes I got lost in the educating, right? You and I laugh about that. I like to verbally vomit information on people. So I'm learning where to hold that back and let them ask and listen more than I talk.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you have an amazing wealth of knowledge, and just you're just perfect for what you do, perfect for the Academy. You're a great addition and contribution, and you're always showing up. We see you at this event every day, I think. And it's just so great to have you here. What would you say to people who might be out there on the fence, looking in, or, looking down from the bleachers, just like not wanting to, make a call or do anything? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that I understand that it's a new concept. You've probably not heard about it. And you don't have to trust me. You can, everything's Googleable, right? So you can kind of search and see what's out there and find who's right for you. But just know that you can't be healthy if you are a mouth breather. And a lot of people don't even realize that they are. But when you mouth breathe, you're always in fight or flight. We heal and restore our body when we rest and when we sleep and when we breathe through our nose, because we get the nitric oxide CO2 exchange. So you're going to sleep better. You're going to be able to focus better. You're just going to be healthier in general. And so I would look to see, do you have these symptoms? The first thing I do for people is have them close their mouth and time. Can you breathe through your nose for 3 minutes? If you can't breathe through your nose for 3 minutes, then you have a problem. And you definitely need to contact someone in the field to help you out, because you're going to be sick. And it's a trickle down effect. Things happen, our body compensates, you don't even know you're doing it. So trust me, I found all this stuff out, and my whole family was having issues, and it's hereditary. And again, I wish I knew this stuff, which is why I'm putting it out there. I do feel like I never thought I would get cancer, but I do feel like God gives you things, put things into your life, and you can either be a victim or you can take what happened to you and you can empower others. And that's what I chose to do. So, and that's how I'm helping others. So definitely listen to your body.
Awesome. Awesome. And you're a VIP with us in the Academy. So you do work with me privately every month. And how are those sessions for you? Our one-on-ones?
Very enlightening. I think with each session, I learn more. I learned where my roadblocks are. I'm not really good at asking questions or knowing what questions to ask a lot of times, because I'm so into what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't see the outside. So you're very good at giving me the big picture and saying, okay, Sheree, we're singularly focused. What are we focusing on this week? Right. And then once you get this, then you can move to this. So I think that's where you have been amazing for me, because you reel me in, like, okay, you're getting back off there. Let's reel back in and stay focused, and we'll meet these goals. We will get there. Let's just one step at a time. And so that's where being with you has been amazing, because it's giving me a different way of looking at things that I didn't know.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it's been a joy to work with you. It's been just a few months, and I can't wait to see what's going to be happening over the rest of your first year. And thank you so much for coming in. Again, this is your weekend, so I appreciate your time very much. As some of you know, we don't prep anything in advance. I don't pay these people. I don't compensate them in any way, shape, or form. And it's just, from what they want to share with you. So if you have any questions for Sheree about the Academy, Sheree, are you okay to share anything if they do want to reach out with you?
You can message me. I'm on Facebook. If you go to any of those places, all of my information is out there that you can get a hold of me. You can book a call with me and I'll talk to you about the Academy because it's been amazing for me personally. So even not even my business, just even personally, just the growth and how much freer I feel and all the weight that has been lifted off of me. So there's been a lot of great things working with you, and I appreciate you doing what you do for people like me.
Oh, it's my joy. Thank you. So yes, type hashtag Sheree, and I'll show that. Oh, you can see it, SHEREE. So just type hashtag Sheree, and she'll reach out to you as well. And if you have any questions, if you want to have a call and find out more about the Academy, just type call. We'll hop on a 10-minute call and see what kind of questions you have. If you need a longer call, then we'll book a longer call. But at least we want to get you the initial questions you have. You have just until midnight on Tuesday to take action and find out, is this what's right for you? And Sheree, you did take fast action. You also are one of our future authors, and you have your book coming out very shortly. So it's going to be fun. We'll have you back and share all the highlights of your book as soon as that's published as well.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. And again, like I said, thanks for all that you do. And if you're a business owner and you want some help or a mentor, I mean, I love you because I've been in other groups and you don't get the person that has talked to you about the package. So you get passed off to someone else. Whereas we basically have access to you every day. You have something on Monday, you have the call on Tuesday, Wednesday. I always work Thursday, so I never get that. But then you have Mind Mastery on Fridays. So, I mean, you are definitely there. You're not ghosting anyone once you join this program. It's definitely well worth it.
Awesome. Thank you. And again, Sheree will be around for the rest of the workshop. So please come back, and we have some more fun things coming up over the next couple days. And then we will be back Monday and Tuesday, of course, at 5 p.m. again. So thank you, Sheree, for your time. And I can't wait to see you again next week in our calls.
Thank you.
Bye.